Max Verstappen is the 2024 World Champion and he's a Qatar race winner as well as he finishes off the season in style, leading the way with just one race remaining. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Racing. Max Verstappen, middle half of the season when it was expected that maybe he would have that championship lead into. It didn't happen. He held Norris off. And now it looks like he may actually finish the season as the strongest performer. And you got to feel that Perez has really let Red Bull down. Perez didn't even need to be good. All he had to do was be mediocre this season. And to be honest, Red Bull probably win the Constructors pretty comfortably. But unfortunately, he's been absolutely garbage. And I believe that this means Red Bull, due to today's result, can no longer be Constructor champs.
Absolutely, they're out of it. It's a two-horse race. The prancing horse and the papaya horse. All right. Max Verstappen, fantastic, as you said.
What horse is Perez? A donkey then?
He held off
the Mexican
Norris.
Donkey?
Perez holds the L. Lewis Hamilton holds an L. But who holds the biggest L? I'd say the stewards, man. I think the penalties they were dishing out were actually borderline ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I think what Norris done was probably a warning.
No, because, but it was a yellow flag, right? But it wasn't displayed properly.
I can't believe
we didn't even know it was a yellow.
I can't believe you got a 10-second stop and go.
Yeah,
stop and go.
Button couldn't believe it. Wonder who pressed his buttons. But let's begin the start of the race, shall we? 3-car pile up into turn 1. It was Nico Hulkenberg, Colapinto, and Esteban Ocon. Stroll was involved in there in some capacity. My bet, your bet. They took a hit here. Nico Hulkenberg needed points. Needed Colapinto to finish the best of his group.
Yeah, felt like our bets were pretty much, I'm going to say, done after a couple of corners. It felt that way at least. Hamilton jumped the grid, jumped the start, and then he slowed down to try and make up for it. And he ended up losing like 4 places because of that. See, if you jump the gun and you know you've done it, you're going to get a penalty anyway. So in my opinion, you may as well floor it. It's at least if you jump the gun and you make up 3 or 4 positions, then you could maybe even argue that the 5-second penalty in the pits isn't that bad.
Do you not remember though? There used to be a drive-through for this. That's when it was bad. I'm convinced if they gave you a drive-through now, he would have just, as soon as he hit it, he'd have floored.
Yo, but depending on the race, right? Depending on the track, depending on who you've got in front of you, you could certainly make a case, man, that it might actually be worth.
Unsportsmanlike though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and maybe if maybe they feel like if it's done on purpose, then you get a bigger penalty.
Yeah.
But here, see in Monaco, maybe argue here. Maybe if you've got a slower guy in front of you.
If you're starting 20th, why don't you just go at 0?
Remember the old F1 games where you could just go at the very beginning? See, that was retarded. They gave you a drive-through, but you'll make up way more time. See if you're starting last. And you go before the 5 lights have even turned 1 red. I mean, you wouldn't make up way more time.
Absolutely. What was I about to say there? Maldonado at Spa 2012. I mean, he jumped it by about 2 seconds, and then he avoided that crash, kinda.
Lucky him.
But yeah, as for the start of the race, that's what happened. Honestly, I just think Norris, Russell, Piastri. When it comes to Max, man, I don't get it. They just give the guy too much respect. He doesn't give them any.
No.
And they leave the whole gap of the desert, man, just for him to drive through.
Nah, to me, I thought it was a disappointing race.
No, it was. I mean, I had a lot of chaos towards the end, but the start, it's like, all right, Norris sitting behind him. Then you've got what else really happened? You had a few crashes. I mean, essentially, someone's wing mirror come off. I have no idea who it was. They should have just thrown out a VSC or a safety car here. Bottas hits it. Then Sainz and Hamilton both get punctures. George Russell at this point is the only real guy who's pitted, right? He massively benefited from this. So Sainz and Hamilton dropped in the order. Norris was caught speeding during all this. That's why he got the 10-second stop and go. For me, completely ridiculous, right? But the safety car here made people go for the medium to the hard, but people who had already pitted, like Russell, wanted to go hard then onto the medium, but then they put him on another set of hards. George Russell had a very good chance of winning this race for me if they actually put him onto the medium, because you've seen there was a massive difference.
Absolutely.
And it made, I don't know what was going on. As for Zhou Guan Yu, where did that come from? Finishing P8, absolutely fantastic for him. Magnussen finishing 9th. Sergio Perez bent it behind the safety car, lost drive, whatever, shite jobby. This guy's season just gets worse every race.
It does. So,
He needs to go. Who would you replace him with?
I would replace him with Sainz, I guess, but he's already gone, so I'd say Colapinto. He's impressed me. Has he done enough though? Does Colapinto, as good as I think Colapinto's been, and I think he deserves a seat for next year. I don't know if does he deserve a Red Bull seat? You know, that's the question.
Is it too much to say that any driver on the grid would do better than Perez? Because I think they would.
Alonso, stick Fernando in there.
Stick Fernando in there. But Pierre Gasly, he got 5th. Right, another good drive, so we may as well just talk at the end of the race.
Does Gasly deserve another chance at Red Bull?
Potentially, but yeah, Norris pits. He managed to fight his way through and actually get 2 points, which could be crucial in that Constructors, but it finished Verstappen, Leclerc, Piastri, Russell, Gasly.
And he did well to get 2 points because it looked like it was all done after that penalty.
Sainz, Alonso, Zhou, Magnussen, Norris, and Bottas. Then it was Hamilton, Tsunoda, Lawson, Albon. That was your 15. Who was the worst driver of the weekend? I mean, honestly, I think it's between two guys, Perez or Hamilton. I feel like Perez was a bit unlucky in this race, right? Because the car literally just broke. But Hamilton was awful. But Perez in the sprint yesterday was one of the worst performances I've ever seen. So I don't really know what. Who would you give it to? Are both done?
Nah, they're both done.
I don't think Hamilton's done on Perez's level, folks. But he even came out and said that he's no longer fast over one lap.
Yeah, no, I still think it's kind of mad that Hamilton's replacing Sainz. That doesn't make much sense to me, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. If he wasn't a 7-time world champion, he would not be replacing Carlos Sainz.
No, definitely not.
I mean, that's not to say if he was a 6-time, he would be. Anyway, guys, leave your thoughts down below. And peace.